This is Stan J. Caterbone, Pro Se and Advanced Media Group. I'm at my home office at 1250 Fremont Street, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, 17603. It's now 8:48 a.m. on Tuesday, June 14th, 2022. I'm going to give an update to my Social Security problem. Yesterday, I went to the office in Greenfield without an appointment. Now, on Sunday, I made a reservation with Red Rose Access to be picked up here and taken to the Social Security office in Greenfield. Now, the pickup time was 9:30, and what they do is they give you a 40-minute window because of COVID and they're short of drivers. So my pickup time was between 9:30 and 10:10. Red Rose Access arrived right at 10:10 a.m. In fact, I called a minute before that to see if they were still coming, and they pulled right around the corner on Charles and Fremont. So they picked me up at 10:10, and I got to the Greenfield office around 10:25 a.m. Monday, June 13th, 2022. Now, there was a long line of people in there, and the people said they couldn't get appointments. They said they tried to call too, and they couldn't get appointments. Anyway, there was a long line, and there was, of course, a security officer, a female, a girl. She was nice to everyone. Anyway, before you walked in, they asked if you had any weapons or anything, knives, utility knives, and pepper spray. Of course, I had my pepper spray. So I told her right off when I got up for me to go in, I said, I have pepper spray. She says, you can't have that on the property. I said, well, can I throw it across the street? She said, sure. So I went out and hung it on a tree across the street. Went back in and got back in line again. I got my ticket. You go up to when you get in there, you go up to a kiosk and you punch in your Social Security number, and you have to give the reason why you're there for the visit. Now, I used other. So I got my ticket about 11:05, and about 11:25 my number got called. Now, they have about 20 little cubicles, windows, lined up in a row, 10 on each side. It's real nice, real efficient. So I got seen by a black woman. She was probably in her 50s, I would say. She had a little gray in her hair. Anyway, she was nice. Now, I showed her the letter, and I asked her who could have changed my address. Now, she kind of danced around it. I said, okay. I said, let's forget about that. I said, let's try to fix this problem. So what she did was she enrolled me in Direct Express again, because I said no bank would let me open up an account. I said, I can't get a bank account. I said, I do have TD Ameritrade, but she said, well, you can enroll in Direct Express. And she said, I can do that here. I said, okay, let's do that. So she enrolled me in Direct Express right away. And she said, what will happen is my two payments for May and June, May 18th, and tomorrow's payment, June 15th, will go right into my Direct Express card. And she said, I'll receive my new Direct Express debit card within 14 days. Now, the Direct Express card I had from 2009 till November 2021. What happened was PNC Bank, they weren't letting me transfer electronically from my Direct Express card right into PNC Bank. So every month I had to go into PNC Bank, withdraw cash out of the ATM from my Direct Express card, and make a deposit. Well, I got tired of doing that, so I switched my direct deposit from Direct Express to PNC Bank. Now, when I did that in November, and it didn't take effect till the January 16th payment. It takes about 2 months, 2.5 months. So anyway, so she fixed that. So now all my payments will go to my Direct Express, my new Direct Express card, which I'll get in the mail. And it will have on it the deposits that went back to the Treasury of May 18th and tomorrow's, which will be pinged right back. That'll be on it already. So I'll have a new Direct Express card within 14 days, and it'll have over $3,000 on it already. Then all the subsequent payments will go right to the Direct Express. Now, the Direct Express card you can use at ATMs. Now, as far as writing checks, I still have a TD Ameritrade account open. It has $4 in it. It has a checking account. In fact, about a month ago, I went and ordered new checks just to get fresh checks. I had older checks, but I wanted fresh checks. So I got a new batch, I guess, of 100 or so checks from my TD Ameritrade account that just came. They're still in the package. So after that, I went back out. I was done probably about 10 of 12. I went back across the street, and my pepper spray was still hanging on the tree. So I went and got that. Now, the address is Colonial Village Lane, 1860, I think it is. Now, American Helix, my address for American Helix and Advanced Media Group back in 88 till 92 was 1827 Colonial Village Lane. Now, if you go down from the Social Security office, you go down to the stop sign, which I think is Hempstead. If you go further up Colonial Village Lane, you'll come to Cardinal Technologies, which Howard Crawl started, which I tried to finance back in 1987, which was bought by Paul Allen, the partner of Bill Gates, the co-founder of Microsoft. The next building up, a building or two later, is FedEx, and then is American Helix. Now, Community Services Group is down at the stop sign to the left, up from the pond. Now, at Community Services Group is the bus stop. So I only did a one-way trip with my Red Rose Access, just a pickup. So after I was done with the Social Security office, I walked with my walker. It's downhill. I went by the pond. There's a path as soon as you come off the road that goes by the pond and up to the Community Services office. So I took a copy of my letter from Social Security, and I wanted to give it to Ken Ruffner. But the lady inside said, well, we can't accept anything from anyone. You have to give it to him personally when you have your next meeting. Well, my next meeting is tomorrow. So in person, I'll give it to him. Now, when I was in there, they do have Wi-Fi. And I asked them if I could use the Wi-Fi. So I was able to use the Wi-Fi, and that's how I tweeted the picture of my notes. Now, I took notes when I was in the booth. I took notes about what she said and what she told me. So I took those notes before I walked out of the booth, out of the cubicle, whatever you want to call it. It's booth number 10. I was in booth number 10. Anyway, so they let me hook up to their Wi-Fi. So I tweeted that, and I think I sent a copy to Lindsay and Ruffner and a couple other people through an email. So that's how I was able to do that. So it was hot out, and I had my cool towel. What I did was, before I left here, I soaked my cool towel and put it in a plastic baggie and sealed it. So it was all nice soaking wet. So I had that on, so I wasn't hot at all. Now, it was air conditioning there, so I had to wait about 20 minutes, so I walked outside and waited at the bus stop. Now, I had already looked at the bus schedule, and the bus was coming at, I think it was 12:45. So the bus pulls up. I had to flag him down, and this gray-haired bus driver gave me shit when I walked on the bus. He goes, this isn't a bus stop. I said, well, sir, I said, another bus driver told me to stand here for this bus, which they did. I've been using that bus stop for over a year, I believe. Anyway, I didn't say a word. I just validated my bus pass and sat back down. Anyway, he wanted to cause me trouble. So I took the bus into town, but I got off at the Hamilton Club and went to the bus stop across from PNC Bank and came home. So my Social Security problem is now solved. So I'll get my debit card within 2 weeks, and it'll have over $3,000 on it. Now, as far as who changed my address, I don't know. PNC Bank started this back in February 27th when they sent me a FedEx saying they were closing my bank account. Now, what happened was I went in to see PNC Bank, and I went in and met with a manager in Millersville. And I never saw this manager before. I believe he was a detective myself. Anyway, I showed him that what happened was PNC Bank, on my online account, my pending withdrawals were inflated. Instead of $97, they were showing like $211. Something that they did this twice. They extorted cash from me, from my account. So I showed him on paper the paperwork that proved that out, and he got pissed off at me. He said, well, he goes, you wrote extortion on there. I did. I wrote extortion on my notes as a note, but I had the actual pending withdrawal, an image of it. I took snapshots of it. Well, he got pissed off. So what they did was they said they were closing my account down because of that after the fact. So anyway, that's the story about my Social Security disability. Now it's a non-issue. Everything is fixed. As far as PNC Bank goes, they still owe me $311 for the extortions from inflating my pending withdrawals. So that's going to have to be handled in the vandalism and thefts. Now, last night, they broke my mop. This mop I got at Amazon. I used it and it snapped right away. So they weakened it, so next time I used it, it would snap. Every day there's stuff broken, stuff missing, every day. And these neighbors and this stalking has to stop. I don't know who they think they are. I can't go out front or out back with them stalking me. It has to stop. There's no authority that can do this legally. It's all illegal. Now it's 8:54 a.m. Tuesday, June 14th, 2022. This is Stan J. Caterbone. I'm upstairs in my kitchen using my camera up here. My computers work both up and down. My printer works downstairs as well. I got everything fixed as far as the computers. It's 8:54 a.m. Tuesday, June 14th, 2022. This is Stan J. Caterbone, Advanced Media Group, Pro Se at 1250 Fremont Street, Lancaster, PA 17602. Thank you and have a nice day.